Evening, Marg.
Hello, Thomas.
Are we live, Megan?
Should be any second. Just getting
Okay.
settled here.
Yeah, I see it. I see it. Okay, I turned the comments off.
Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome.
Go ahead.
Good evening. Welcome to the special meeting of council. This is Thursday, May the 23rd, 2024, 6 p.m. and I will call this meeting to order. I will look to my left for any disclosure of pecuniary interest in the general nature thereof. See none noted. We will move immediately into staff reports. Report DS 3924 by Margaret Underhill, Planning Coordinator, Deputy Clerk, regarding the official plan conformity review 2024. Phase 1 initiation and notification. Good evening, Mark.
Good evening, Your Worship and Council. So the report before you and the purpose of our meeting tonight is to talk about Phase 1 initiation and notification for our official plan conformity review 2024. We have begun our process that will take most of 2024. Phase 1 starts with this meeting, this special council meeting, to get council up to date on our first steps and our process from now on. So I have Arcadis online. I have Christian Simonides and Douglas Stewart. They are part of our official plan review team from Arcadis. Oh, we also have Victor. And we will actually turn it over to Christian because he has a PowerPoint presentation for us. And he's going to lead us through this Phase 1 initiation and notification. And he will also be touching on what our Phase 2, Phase 3, and forward will look like. So I will turn it over to Christian. Good evening, gentlemen, all from Arcadis. Christian, particularly, I'll turn it to you.
Yes, thank you very much, Margaret. Just let me know if you can see my screen. I'll put it into presentation mode. Okay, perfect. All right, thanks very much, Margaret. So good evening, everyone. My name is Christian Simonides, and I'm a planner with Arcadis, formerly known as IBI Group from our Waterloo office. Tonight, I'm excited to announce the formal initiation of the Municipality of BAM official plan review project. While I will note that this is Phase 1, it's the initiation, it will be very short-lived because we will be moving into Phase 2 following this meeting, but I will certainly get into the details later on in this presentation. So the purpose of tonight's presentation is to provide members of council, the public and special interest groups in attendance, an overview of the project and what it means, the estimated timelines and milestones, as well as future opportunities for participation. Further, council will have an opportunity to decide on the slogan name or branding of the project, which again, I will get into more detail later on, and that's also noted in the staff report and the agenda. Before starting the presentation, I would like to give a special thanks to municipal staff, Margaret Underhill, as well as Megan Elliott, for their efforts in setting up the project webpage, circulating the notices, coordinating the newspaper ad for the open house and so forth. It certainly has helped us out a lot, and we look forward to continuing to work with municipal staff through the project. So I've already given an introduction of myself. So again, Christian Simonides, planner from Arcadis. I'm also joined by Victor Labreche, who is the associate principal practice lead for our planning team in Waterloo, as well as Douglas Stewart, associate manager, again, planning team in our Waterloo office. While I will be leading the presentation tonight, both Victor and Douglas will be available at the end of the call to answer any questions or provide further clarification where necessary. I would also like to add to that Arcadis, again, formerly known as IBI Group, has been providing planning consulting services for the municipality of BAM for about 20 years or so. I think just a little over 20. I'm sure Margaret can give the exact timeline on that, but we certainly have the resources and experience to lead this project and are happy to continue to work closely with municipal staff and council on this project. So moving on. So this is the presentation outline for this evening. It's broken down into 8 components. The first 3 are essentially just primers to what an official plan is, what an official plan review means, etc. And then it'll lead more into the project details and next steps and additional information. And then as previously mentioned, questions or comments will be taken at the end of the presentation. So moving on. All right, so the planning hierarchy in the province of Ontario is broken down into 3 levels, and I believe there's a laser pointer feature. There we go. So it's easier for me to point it out. So there's the provincial level, the county level, as well as the local level. And as you work your way down the planning hierarchy, the policies and objectives become more specific in the local context within each of these listed documents that you see here. So starting at the provincial level, this consists of the Planning Act, as well as the Provincial Policy Statement. So the Planning Act is essentially the provincial legislation that sets out the ground rules for land use planning in Ontario. It describes how land uses may be controlled and who may control them. The Provincial Policy Statement, also referred to as the PPS, follows the Planning Act and provides provincial direction on key land use planning issues that affect communities. So this includes policy direction that is more specific to, say, infrastructure or natural heritage features and resources, agricultural lands, housing, and so forth. Next is the county or regional level, which in this context, BAM is Elgin County, and that includes the Elgin County Official Plan. So the Elgin County Official Plan implements the policies at the provincial level up here, noted above, and includes general direction and guidance on a broader basis by establishing an upper tier policy framework that provides guidance to the local municipalities in preparation of their local official plans and zoning bylaws. Now, finally, we have the local level, which consists of the BAM official plan and zoning bylaw, which implements both the provincial and county level policies noted above, and that pertain to BAM. The BAM official plan right here is shown in orange on this slide, indicating that this is the document our team will be reviewing and updating as part of this project. And you can see where it falls in the planning hierarchy and process in Ontario. So moving on. So what is an official plan? So now that we have an understanding of the planning hierarchy in Ontario, what is an official plan, or more specifically, what is the BAM official plan? So essentially, the official plan contains goals, objectives, and policies to direct physical and land use change and their effects on the cultural, social, economic, and natural environment within BAM. The official plan also includes maps, which are referred to as schedules, used to identify specific land use designations that apply to each parcel of land. So ultimately, you have the text portion that relates to the policies of the land use. And then there's the mapping portion of the official plan that has, again, the mapping of the land use designations that apply to each parcel within the municipality. The official plan also implements provincial policies and guidelines, as well as the Elgin County official plan. So what is an official plan review? So an official plan review is essentially a review and or update of the official plan document, whereby the Planning Act requires municipalities to update this document every 5 years or so that it is, 1, consistent with the PPS or provincial policy statement, 2, has regard to matters of provincial interest, and 3, conforms with the upper tier, in this case, Elgin County, official plan. It also provides an opportunity to address local priorities and changing community needs within the context of BAM. I should also note too that the Municipality of BAM official plan was last reviewed in 2019. So we're now at the 5-year review period in 2024. So moving on. So continuing on with what is an official plan review. So essentially this project will ultimately be a conformity exercise in which the new official plan will be taking the policies from the newly adopted Elgin County official plan and implementing them in the local context. So I'm sure many of you are aware that are in the process of being notified that the County of Elgin Council adopted the new Elgin County official plan on May 14th, 2024 of this year, and will be reviewed by the Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing for approval. So although it's not in force and effect, that is a document that we will certainly be considering and again, taking into account for as part of this official plan review in the local official plan. Should also note that there is ongoing provincial legislation that our team will also take into consideration for this project, and that relates to the provincial policy statement changes as well as the potential for Bill 185. So what does all of this mean for BAM? Well, essentially the BAM official plan review is to ensure that the new BAM or the new proposed BAM official plan conforms with the proposed or newly adopted Elgin County official plan. This should ultimately reduce timing in the BAM's official plan review process, given that most of the big picture work has already been completed by Elgin County in terms of both the text and the mapping that was updated. It also provides an opportunity to create a robust and also a more modernized BAM official plan. So this slide here, and I'm going to get that laser pointer up again, just so we can all see it. Okay, so this slide here provides an overview of the process and estimated timeline for this project. We have broken up this project into 5 distinct phases. Phase 1 being the current phase that we're in right now, which is the project launch or initiation. Again, as previously noted at the beginning of this presentation, it will be very short-lived because we'll be moving into phase 2, which is the consultation and policy review aspect of the project, in which we will have an open house, one-on-one appointments, virtual and in person, as well as do a review of the Elgin County official plan, provincial legislation, and as well as best practices of other official plans in our review. Moving on to phase 3 of the project, this is when we will produce the first draft official plan. So the first draft of it will essentially be taking all of the feedback and work done in phase 2 and then publishing it in a draft form in phase 3. And in phase 3, we'll also be having a follow-up in-person open house, as well as additional one-on-one appointments with members of the public, special interest groups, agencies, etc., to then move into phase 4, in which we will finalize the draft based on the feedback taken from phase 3 and bring this the final draft official plan to BAM Council for adoption. If the official plan is adopted, then it will move on to phase 5, which is the approval of the official plan, and the approval authority is Elgin County. So that is when at this phase will be the end of the project, and that all of the material will be sent to Elgin County for their approval. And again, based on the estimated time frame that you see at the bottom here, we were hoping to finalize the project by the first quarter of 2025, so January, February, March, around that time frame. And I should also note too, at the bottom of your screen there, it states that engagement and consultation will always be ongoing. So that leads perfectly into the next slide, where I will go through the public engagement and consultation strategy for this project. So ultimately, the methods of public engagement and consultation for this project will include: 1, an official plan review specific email address, which will be ongoing. This handle right here, opreview@bam.com.ca, sorry, .on.ca, apologies, will be the main correspondence for individuals to email for any comments, questions, or feedback throughout the project. We will monitor the email along with the municipality of BAM staff in order to keep track of all comments received. Number 2 would be the municipal web page. Again, there's a link to it here where it will be ongoing. The web page will be updated throughout the project. And I would also note too that you can do a Google search or whatever web browser you're using to type in BAM Official Plan Review 2024. That could also work as well, in addition to this link on the screen here. So this web page will basically have all of the information needed on the project, the timelines, any links to previous meetings, upcoming open houses, etc. That is essentially the main hub to go to for information. The third will be an ongoing mailing and or contact list. So this essentially will be a list of ongoing emails, mailing addresses, phone numbers, etc. of those who would like to be involved in the process and receive updates via email. I would also note too that the ongoing mailing or contact list will not be disclosed to the public. Only Arcadis as well as the municipality of BAM will have access to it, and you will have an option to opt out of that mailing or contact list if you choose to. Fourth would be the local newspaper. Again, that would be a medium to provide notice of any upcoming open houses, etc. Fifth is in-person open houses. So one is scheduled in phase 2, as well as one to be determined in phase 3. I will get into more details of the scheduling of the open house in phase 2, but again, there will be in-person open houses in order to provide an opportunity for the public as well as special interest groups an opportunity to speak in person and discuss the project face to face. We will also be having in-person and virtual one-on-one appointments. Those can be booked with the project team, again, happening in phases 2 and 3. Those dates are to be determined, but we will certainly keep everyone updated on our availability, and again, the website as well as the email address for the distribution of information will keep everyone up to date. So next slide. All right, so from a marketing and or branding perspective, we think it is important that the project has a distinct slogan that can add some flair, I guess, if you will, to the project. So many municipalities, including Elgin County, have incorporated such branding into their official plan review projects. So on this slide and within the staff report in your agenda, we've included some suggested slogans and or branding names for this project. I would ask that at the end of the presentation, council provide their opinion and direction on the preferred slogan and or branding as part of the resolution. We certainly would like, council's involvement in this, especially given that this project, this document is a direction of council, and ultimately we'll be adopting it at the end of the day. So we certainly would like to know your thoughts. So again, we will get to that at the end of the presentation after the Q&A. So. Now, in terms of next steps and additional information. So again, as I've mentioned, we will be entering into phase 2 of the project. This includes the consultation and policy review and analysis portion of the project. That leads into the second point here on my screen, where an in-person open house will be hosted on Wednesday, June 19th, 2024, from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. in the Straffordville Community Center. Right off Heritage Line, municipal office there. Again, address noted. The notice of the open house was circulated in the Ulmer Express newspaper yesterday on May 22nd, 2024, and the notice can also be found on the municipal website for details. We certainly encourage those listening and those who receive the notice to attend to hear your feedback with respect to the official plan review project. The next aspect is the web page. Again, noting that just for your screen here is where you can access more information of the project. We will certainly be updating that web page as we go along through the project. But again, here's a link again to the web page. You can always just type in official plan review or BAM official plan review 2024, and that should come up. You are also encouraged to provide any comments, questions, or feedback on the official plan review project at opreview at baham.on.ca. Written submissions can also be mailed to the municipal office. Again, please note in the subject line that it pertains to the official plan review project. That makes it a lot more easier for us to sort through any comments or feedback or questions that we have that we receive. So this, in my opinion, is the most important slide of the presentation in terms of providing the next steps or additional information for those who want to stay informed and involved throughout this project. I should also note too that this PowerPoint presentation will be posted on the webpage following this meeting, as well as a link to the YouTube recording on the BAM YouTube channel. This should be updated at least sometime early next week. We will coordinate with municipal staff, but again, just the website is really the go-to for that. So with that, if there are any questions or comments, our project team will be certainly happy to answer. Again, both myself, Victor Labreche, and Douglas Stewart are on the call. And again, we'd be happy to answer any questions that you may have. So thank you very much.
Thank you for a presentation, Christian. I'm going to look to council. Does anyone have any questions? Yep, Councilor Emerson, please.
Can you provide example, like it's going from the provincial to the county and then to us? And I'm just wondering what in particular does council have any say in how the plan is shaped? Can you give me like an example or something? Like say, for example, settlement boundary lines or what do we actually have input on?
So through your worship, yes, certainly I can answer that. So the BAM Council can again have influence on directions that they may hear from or comments or questions that they may hear from their constituents. With respect to, again, that example was a perfect one with settlement area boundaries. We're going to be working closely with Elgin County with respect to the settlement boundary areas. Because again, they had gone through that process through their official plan review. But again, that's an area that council can get involved in, is that if there are any comments or questions that you hear from your constituents, then certainly that can be passed along to us for consideration in the project. So
I don't think he got your question, Tim, did he?
Well, not quite. Like if stuff's decided at the county level, how much influence do we have, or what influence do we have, and what points in particular if we have to align with provincial policy and then county policy and then down to the municipal level? Is there anything left for us to change or adjust or modify? That's kind of more my question. The settlement area was just an example. It seems like from what your presentation, it almost seems like, I don't know, like 80% is already decided what happens. So if I offer an opinion and it's against the provincial plan, then it probably goes nowhere, right? Or does, because somebody at provincial level's got to approve everything that we say. So why I would just like clarification respectfully, so that I don't waste a lot of energy doing stuff that I cannot change or offer suggestion to.
Right. So through your worship, yeah, that's a good question. Thank you for clarifying. So ultimately, like I mentioned before, yes, it is what's considered a conformity exercise, in that we're essentially taking the policies that are at the county level, that were, again, from the newly adopted official plan, as well as the provincial level, and implementing them at the local context. So certainly, yes, for, more or less, a lot of the policies will be the same. However, as I noted in the planning hierarchy, there are certain aspects in the local context that may be tailored in the local context. For example, that's when it gets more down to the nitty gritty, if you will, with the land use designations within, say, the hamlet areas or the villages or the settlement areas. So those are areas that there may be some wiggle room in terms of making some amendments to some of the consent related policies, for example. But again, the whole point though is that we have to ensure that it is consistent with the PPS, the provincial policy statement, as well as it conforms to the Elgin County official plan. So while you do have an influence on it, and certainly we can take those into consideration, there may be some aspects that you are correct in that there are some aspects that are out of our control. I mean, it is, they are directives of the province that we cannot change at their level. But again, in some local context, needs, say, for example, hobby farm policies, for example, there may be some amendments or tweaks to that, or on-farm diversified use policies that may need some modernizing in this official plan that haven't been included, but can be updated because, again, some of them are outdated and aren't captured in the Elgin County official plan because, again, the Elgin County one is more at a broader context. With some of their policies, they just provide for many policies, they provide a blanket policy that provides general direction for the local official plan and zoning bylaw. So that, again, for some of those examples, we can have an opportunity to tailor it in that respect for some of those policies. So.
Yeah, it's supposed to get a lot more detailed as it gets down to the local level.
Okay.
That's how it works.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for the clarification. So would it be possible to have a thou shall not touch list? So like, you cannot do this. So like, I'm not wasting time thinking about stuff I can't change. Like, since we already kind of know at the provincial level what we can't do, it'd be kind of nice to know. I don't know, right?
If I may, through the mayor to the councillor on that question, Arcadis has prepared sort of, well, I guess what we refer to as Cole's notes on several of the bill enactments from the province. Bill 23 was kind of the main one, and there was a few others after that, and then Bill 185, which deals with the new MZO process and enactment of the revised PPS. Everybody in the industry expects that that's going to happen before the summer recess of provincial parliament. So by about May 15th or third week of June, we expect that be given royal assent. Arcadis has prepared sort of a summary of each of those, and we'll send those to you, all of you, and senior management, and then give any sort of changes to that when Bill 185 comes forward again. We expect, and the industry expects, by middle of June, so you can kind of see what you really can't deal with in our provincial legislation, and what is left over is what you can deal with, and we can work through over the balance of this year in your official plan review.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay. Additional? Deputy Mayor.
Yes, thank you through you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you very much for the presentation. Just one quick question. I'm curious to know historically if we have had a lot of public participation in these reviews.
Through your worship. I would say we've had minimal interest, minimal participation historically. I guess I can't put numbers to attendees, obviously, but I would like to see more participation and more interest taken in this document, because it is a really important planning tool for the municipality. So in saying that, I would encourage people to reach out and learn about the official plan, what it means for us, and what interest they may have to see some changes. So we have several means to do that, as Christian has already laid out, through email, through personal meeting, through the open house. I encourage people to take advantage of that.
Thank you for that. Follow up, anyone?
I guess the only thing I would add to that is, as Margaret has indicated, like for example, this evening, I don't know if there's anybody in your gallery there, but online there's, I think, a total of 5 of us, of which 4, including Thomas Taylor, is joining virtually. So beyond that, there's no public in attendance tonight. That may change certainly over the next coming months.
I'm just wondering what I can add from experience. The start of the process, it starts slow. But as soon as there's an official plan prepared, when we prepare the first version of the plan, that's when people will be impacted because they can physically see what the plan is proposing.
Yes.
What I also can suggest is, based on our experience, there are quite a few people who have approached with specific requests and such. We have provided our responses to. It's certainly, as the information is out there, that there is this review and that there is a potential that there will be some refinement. I would certainly hope there will be interest. Hopefully there will be participation. But as I have experienced, at the start, it's slow. But as you start to define things, that's when the interest gets in there. And at the time the plan is presented as the final plan for consideration by council, that's when it gets extra involvement.
Well, thank you for those comments, Douglas, and that's exactly the experience we had at Elgin. Very few participants, but as the plan became more rolled out, draft was there, then the comments started to come in, and the attendance at open houses started to pick up. So I would expect the same would be here. I would concur with Marg that my experience over the last few reviews that we've had, very little public participation, but again, you're putting it out there on multimedia, sites in order to attract attention. Perhaps we can get more attention and more participation, more comment on it. Anything else for questions regarding the plan moving forward, or the process, I should say? Let's don't call it the plan yet. It's the process.
Yeah.
We're waiting for the plan.
Mhm.
Okay, I think we're good then, Christian, at this point. There is a question before us. Yeah, I know we need to come back here and deal with that, but do you wish to do with the brand? Does Christian still have the screen there? Or control the screen? Can you take us back to those options? There we go. All right, council. I agree that, putting some kind of a branding on this to garner attention. What captures your attention? Throughout the last 20 some odd years, I've heard different slogans, building a better BAM and this and that. But Deputy Mayor, what captures your attention?
Yeah, thank you through you, Mr. Mayor. I am drawn to number 2.
Okay. Of course, it's defining what the official plan does. It is as one of the principal guiding documents of the municipality, shaping a better BAM. Yeah. To be honest with you, I was drawn to number 3, envisioning a brighter future. But then that suggests that we've done so well in the past.
Kind of implies.
It kind of implies, doesn't it? So I was looking at that and thinking, has a double-edged sword on that one.
Envisioning the building.
OP opportunity? Official plan, your opportunity, or just the opportunity?
Something with that.
Well. Counselor Chilcott, she'll pen that one
Thinking
in.
the BAM plan, building a brighter future. Rather than envisioning.
All right,
I don't know.
I do like the BAM plan better than I do the OP or the official plan review.
Mhm.
Consensus from council, like, let's start there. What do you think? Do you like the official plan review, or do you like the BAM plan? Deputy Mayor.
Thank you through you, Mr. Mayor. The reason I'm drawn to number 2 is just because I think it solidifies exactly what we're doing. The BAM plan doesn't, I think it'll confuse people. They're not gonna they don't realize that it's actually the official plan that we're reviewing. So I was drawn to number 2 for that reason. Whatever the slogan, I'm super fine with, but, I do think it needs somewhere to identify that it's an official plan review.
Fair enough, because it could be confused exactly with, say, a strategic plan, right?
Yeah.
Yes, Councilor Chilcott.
So possibly put BAM in front of it, BAM official plan review and take your second time.
Sure.
Tells whose it is and what it is.
Okay, well, what's the
Yeah.
tagline that people like?
All right.
Oh, Thomas, you have your hand up?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just a quick comment that back in 2014, 2015, I was involved with the City of London official plan at that time, and they had tagged it the London Plan. And one of the concerns from a community engagement perspective that we had was people didn't know what the London Plan was until a couple of public consultations into the process. And that's because it didn't identify specifically that it was an official plan review. So that should be something that council considers in this regard, is that number 2 does identify that it is an official plan review. And the BAM plan can be a bit of a vague term when it comes to interpreting exactly what council is considering. And I think that is something that should be considered in this regard.
All right, so BAM official plan review. So what's your tagline now?
Shaping a brighter future.
Shaping a brighter future. Mark, please.
Just a comment about bright or brighter. What about shaping a bright future or shaping our bright future? Being positive rather than brighter means that it's got to get, well, I don't know. I don't like the brighter, but maybe shaping our bright future.
I like that.
How do you feel about that one?
You know, I think there could be a better adjective than better. Doesn't really speak to prosperity. Oops. It doesn't really speak to prosperity or opportunity as much as other adjectives. I don't know.
About a prosperous future.
That's better if you ask me.
Sorry, just a reminder, can everybody speak into the mics and speak very loudly because half of our attendees are online.
Maybe, I don't know, like except it's a conservative slogan, but progressive or something like that, some kind of, we gotta get a thesaurus out or something.
Actually, that's a Nelgan slogan, but that's good.
Oh, well,
Shaping a progressive BAM?
yeah, it doesn't really
No.
flow off the tongue, but that's why I said you need a thesaurus, but I don't know. The B ones are kind of nebulous. They kind of roll off the tongue though, but
Shaping
a
your opportunity?
prosperous-
Shaping our opportunity?
That's why I have a branding person hired.
Opportunities, plural.
I was just building off of what Counselor Emerson said, building our prosperous or a prosperous future, right? So it's
It could be that, but like envisioning is better than shaping, because we're supposed to be dreaming of a better tomorrow or something or whatever, right? Like, so, like I said, I'm not,
How about envisioning our opportunities? Vague as hell.
a framework for opportunity. I mean, it is a framework, the plan.
It's part of it, yes.
Yeah.
It's a guiding document.
There you go. Guiding,
Guiding our opportunities?
guiding our future. Guiding our, yeah,
Something like that. I don't know.
Yeah. it's a good word. Mm.
Towards a prosperous future. Well, we have to be, envisioning a prosperous future. It's not just for this today, it's building for tomorrow. Oh. Towards a prosperous future.
official plan review toward the prosperous future.
Well, it's progressive, it's just moving forward towards prosperity.
That's like one statement though.
Not,
It's not two things. If you're naming a document and providing a slogan, that's like one statement. That's the problem with that.
be working toward the prosperous.
Yeah, too long.
But that's too.
I don't know. I'm terrible at it, so I don't want to offer any more opinion. I'll lead you down the weeds, so.
Just to loop back. So one of the ones that started to hit home was BAM official plan review, shaping our bright future. And then we've discussed some other options. And I noted the possibility of if there doesn't need to be an adjective or not, just shaping our future.
That is our first one, isn't it?
Right.
Shaping our future.
I like it.
And then it combines number 1 and 2 kind of together. Take the beginning of 2 and the ending of 1.
There you go. Quite the collaborative effort. Counselor Chilcott.
I just want to confirm, she said BAM official plan review, shaping our future.
Yes.
Okay.
Could be.
Yes, we can live with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Official plan review. I can't think of anything.
I know. Well, it is definitive because that's what it is. But you start talking about the BAM plan is actually a mitt full of various plans.
Yeah.
Strategic plan, the zoning bylaw, the official plan, even the budgets, the road needs study, yada, yada, it goes all together. So that's your omnibus catchphrase, the BAM plan. So the official plan, BAM's official plan review, shaping our future. I think that's where we're landing. Thank you all for that.
What's that? It hurt my brain.
Well, we kind of stumbled onto a few things. We have some housekeeping we have to back up to and do.
Yes, procedurally, we'll back up to do the motion for the staff report, but before we do that, was there anything more on this? Just in general.
That's exactly question for council, or is there anything about for the project team on the process? Or even on the, since we've already stumbled upon our catchphrase and for the process moving forward. If we've got that, then let's go back up to number 3, and I'm going to need a mover and seconder for the following. That report DS 3924 regarding the official plan conformity review 2024 phase 1 initiation and notification be received for information. I'll take Deputy Mayor Weiser and Councillor Chilcott, all in favor. That's carried. And going on to the presentation.
We have that presentation from Arcadis project team regarding Municipality of Bayham official plan review phase 1 initiation be received for information, and that the slogan of Bayham official plan review shaping our future be utilized for the 2024 official plan conformity review.
Councillor Emerson and Councillor Chilcott will second that. All in favor? And that's carried. To the Arcadis team, thank you very much for joining us tonight. Certainly appreciate it and look forward to working with you throughout this process.
Yes, thank you very much. It's certainly appreciated, and we certainly look forward to working closely again with municipal staff and council throughout the process as well. So thanks again, everyone.
Perfect. Thank you. Enjoy.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Take care.
Okay, we need to move on with the confirming bylaw. So I need a mover and seconder for following that confirming bylaw number 2024-030 be read a first, second, and third time and finally passed. Deputy Mayor Weiser will move. Councillor Chilcott will second. All in favor? And let's move on then with the agenda. Or excuse me, the adjournment. I was ready to get going here because it's just coming up on the hour, you know. We always get started at 7. All right. That the special council meeting be adjourned at 6:47 PM. And I need a mover and seconder. Deputy Mayor Weiser, Councillor Chilcott, all in favor. We are carried. Okay, thank you for joining us for the special meeting. Again, look forward to take or participating in the open houses for the official plan review as they come along this summer. And everyone have a pleasant evening. We are adjourned.